A little bold and dramatic than I'm used to, but I like it. Anyways, hey guys. So guys, we are in week 3 of this emerging leaders training, and I want to know from you guys, what is it that you have learned so far? Thank you. What is it that you guys have learned so far? So week 1 was breaking the ice. Week 2, we talked about spiritual leaders using spiritual tools. What have you guys took away from this training so far? I want to know. Drop it in the comments. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'm actually going to pause this and come back for the recording. Drag it out. So we have, I am a leader. You are a leader with or without a team. I'm a spiritual leader, being transparent, being assertive. Yes. Don't be afraid to walk into leadership. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this week, guys, the topic for today is patience while you work. All right. And drop that in the comments. Patience while you work. Patience while you work. Patience while you work. Patience while you work. Learn to be extra. Yes. Patience while you work. So here's the thing, guys. Patience while you work. What I mean is, I ain't talking about you having patience for your business. You know, our mantra is be brave, be patient, be consistent. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being patient with the people that you are leading while you still work and press towards the mark. Okay. A lot of times what happens when emerging leaders are coming up and the switch really hasn't went off, even for leaders, the people who are walking in their leadership, not necessarily emerging leaders, but people who are actually embodying and walking in. And I'm going to tell y'all this, a rank does not decide whether someone is a leader or not. So, amen. A rank does not decide whether you're a leader or not. You decide. You decide based on how you function and how you work, how you lead, how you show up. You make the decision of whether you are a leader or not. A lot of times what happens is, because people don't have the positional leadership, they don't walk in the authority that they already have as a leader. You could actually have no distributors in your organization and still be the best leader that there is by leading yourself in your own business and taking care of your customers. That's where it starts. It starts by being a good steward of your customers, being a good steward of your business, running your auto shipment. And then all of that translates as you begin to bring people into your organization. I'm sorry, I got a cough. May need a cough drop, Mr. Wiggum. So that's something to keep in mind. But what I mean today by patience, how many of you guys have ever been irritated? Well, drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever been irritated with someone because they were not moving or doing the things that you told them to do. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, absolutely. Drop a 2 in the comments if you think anybody's ever felt that way about you. Big facts. Here's the thing, guys. People will get it when they get it. You cannot turn on someone's light switch for them. Did y'all hear that? You cannot turn on someone's light switch for them. I kind of want to use this as an example. So I'm someone who was in church my entire life, okay? Entire life. And I went to church all the time, every Sunday. Even though I was in the club on Saturday, I still got up and I went to church, like the whole shebang, right? And I still wasn't like serving God. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I still wasn't serving God, even though I was going to church. And you'll be like, what was you doing then? Listen, that's a whole nother conversation. But I still wasn't serving God, but I still showed up. So, but the pastor was preaching and saying to do things, and then I still wasn't doing them. Right? Y'all wouldn't even pay my tithes. I went to church every Sunday. They tell you you're supposed to pay your tithes, right? What that sound like? But I was showing up, and they still loved me, and they were patient with me, still were kind to me, right? I may not have necessarily been serving at that point, but I still showed up and they were still kind to me. And guess what happened? When I finally decided to give my life to Christ, did y'all hear that? Do you know that there are people who are here in business and haven't decided to become a business owner? Do you know that? There was a moment when you decided to become a business owner. Drop a me in the comments if you remember the moment that you decided, I'm going to do this for real. Like I'm going to be a business owner for real. I'm going to take myself seriously. Like I'm going to take me seriously. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Because you join and you be like, okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if this is for me. Let me see, you know. And then there's that moment that says, no, this is going to work for me. Like it's going to work for me because I'm going to work it. There's two different moments. There are two different moments. And then I want to tell you that there's a third moment where you decide that you're going to take control and be serious. And when you decide to take control and be serious about your business, this is when patience is going to be pivotal. Because when you came in, you had to be patient. But somebody had to be patient with you. How many of y'all we're gonna just be honest today. Drop a one in the comments if you gave your enroller any grief about having a party. Or you didn't even have it. You've been here 6 years and ain't had no party yet. Help Lord. Yeah. Drop a 2 in the comments if you struggle to message your friends and family. Drop a 3 in the comments if you struggle to get started with host a post. Drop a 4 in the comments if you struggled or still ain't shared a before and after picture of yourself. I'm gonna need you to be a little more graceful to the people who come into your organization. Because you struggle. And if you struggle, then you're gonna have patience when it comes to the people who come into your team. But here's the difference. There is a difference between patience, and that's the reason why it's called patience while you work. Patience while you work. Why? Because you're gonna have people who come in and they're here for the money. They're trying to figure out where the money resides. So they're here and they're willing to do whatever you say, and they're willing to go in and they're willing to do the personal development. Like they're all in. But then there will be people who are half in and half out. That doesn't mean that you don't mentor them the same. And what I mean by that is you still give them the same passion. Now, for example, I'm gonna go back to the example that I gave you guys about church. Now, I was super inquisitive. Now, if my pastor and I were having a conversation, there's a difference between correction because I care and correction because she's like a motherly figure. So there would be like correction because I'm trying to be better. Do y'all get what I'm saying? It's like accountability that you give someone. And then there's correction because like if you're gonna hurt yourself if I don't slap you on the hand. How many, I felt that. Drop a me in the comments if that makes you like uncomfortable. Let's talk about it. There need to be one of these. Tell me who wants to be brave and tell me about your discomfort. Why does that make you uncomfortable? Who got mute?
So, hey.
Hey.
So I was in the beginning, it used to make me very uncomfortable because I lacked accountability. Like I lacked self-accountability. I lacked accountability from the people around me. A lot of my friends, it was just like, oh, I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. So when I started getting that, especially like doing one-to-ones in the beginning before I really got serious and hearing some stuff, I would just sit and be like, And no, like I'm good. Like I'm gonna make it seem like I'm okay with what you're saying, but I'm good. And it was really uncomfortable because I wasn't ready to come to terms with what I was being told. Even if I knew it was right, I wasn't ready to come to terms with it. So it made me uncomfortable.
It's good. It's good. Anybody else? Anybody? Come on, y'all. Y'all said me. You start making y'all mute.
I'll speak. So I think the thing that made me uncomfortable with it is I have the tendency to be a people pleaser. And so I don't like to let anybody down. So because I get paralyzed because I don't want to let anybody down. So I just won't do anything.
Okay. So anybody else? Thank you for sharing that.
So it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable because I never knew how to really take constructive criticism. So even though it might be good, that's what you're telling me, I would take it up in a negative way and use it against myself.
It's good. It's real good. Anybody else? The floor is open. This is good.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
About showing struggling with showing patience. It's kind of loaded, so maybe just just listen in. Anyone else? Going once. I feel like it's one more person that it's on your chest. So say it with your chest. It's you. I'm looking right at you. Okay. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, I'm I'm gonna say for us with me, I don't have the patience of dealing with people wasting my time.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And sarcasm stuff and sarcasmness. That's my issue. I just don't like dealing with extra.
Okay. Well, I mean, thank you for sharing that too. And I think one of the biggest things, guys, is one, making a decision that you really want to be a leader. I think that's the first. I mean, that goes back to week 1. Do you really want to be a leader? And are you willing to take control of the situation? Because honestly, you control the situation, you control the narrative. Why? Because you can control your perspective. Y'all get what I'm saying? So when it comes to everything that everybody said, and it's good that Lydia started because she's overcoming it. What it sounds like is, are you really committed to your personal development and personal growth? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Are you overcoming the things that bother you personally so that they don't bother you business-wise? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So the things that bother you on a personal side are going to bother you on the business side. They are going to. So your perspective when it comes to people in general is going to be your perspective when it comes to people in general. You can't fake it. You'll fake it and ain't gonna last too long. So how I show people grace in this business is how I show people grace in life. So when it comes to the patience while you work, if you struggle with patience in general, you're going to struggle with patience when it comes to your team. And a lot of times, why do we struggle with patience? Drop me one reason in the comments that you struggle with patience. In the comments, drop one reason. Why is patience a thing? Want things fast. Yeah. That immediate return. It's learned. Ooh, okay, Lydia. I felt that. Want to control things. Yes. That control. Hate not knowing. Used to getting it right now. Yeah, no concern for people, just a paycheck. Ooh, come on, be honest. The sense of urgency, hate not knowing. When I don't see results when we want them. Patience has helped me. So yes. So well, okay. We gonna walk through this today. So reading all those things, what does that make you think? Like, how do you feel when you read that stuff? I love the honesty. Let's just be selfish. Come on, Shawana. Selfish. 100%. 100%. What does selflessness, like when I say selflessness, how does that feel to you? How does it feel when I say selflessness to you? Yo, I'm gonna explore that, Kate. So when somebody is selfless and you feel like, when I tell you that you need to be selfless, what do you think? Are you like, I'm here for it. I don't know how to do that. I'm not doing that because such and such hurt me before. Yeah, this goes back to kingdom leadership and spiritual leaders using spiritual tools. His grace is sufficient for everybody. And if the person is supposed to help you build right now in this season, they're going to help you build. You will not miss out on what God has for you because of somebody on your team. You will miss out on what God has for you. And I said miss out only because of you. I said miss out. I didn't say not get, because it's possibility that it's not even time. It's not time. You're just being impatient. But you will only miss out on what God has for you because of you. And so how can I help you guys turn? That's the whole point. That's the whole point of this emerging leaders. You have to turn and look at the person in the mirror and just be kind to people. You have to give just to give freely. But you also have to hold people accountable. Patience while you work. You are here to help people make money, but that does not mean that you get to be impatient. Did somebody was like, riddle me that, Rachel? Like how? Did anybody say that? Like how? That don't even make sense. Like how am I patient, but also holding them accountable to working? Anybody struggle with that? I agree, Dave. I agree. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, good. And you know what? This is just giving me an idea to understand where you guys truly are. So I appreciate the honesty. I really do appreciate the honesty. And maybe I can, just to make this a little easier, I'm going to use some real life situations here to make this easier. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to pull, I know we did this before. I'm going to pull up a few people. All right, let me see who can handle the heat. Let's see. Okay, I got it. Because y'all like, oh, don't call on me, don't call on me, don't call on me. All right, I'm gonna pick on Lydia first. Okay. So here's the thing. All right, go ahead and unmute. So here's the thing. How do you feel like I am patient when I deal with you?
Oh, very, very much so.
Tell me how.
Because I know just the entire journey in the beginning, I know there was a lot of pushback coming from me because I wasn't willing in that season. Now, the patience just comes from you understanding that I'm overcoming a lot of things. And it's a little painful, you know, but that patience factor is there because you understand that it is a journey.
So what does that look like? Do I not hold you accountable?
Oh, it's high level accountability. Yeah.
Okay, talk about it.
Yeah. So in the midst of, I mean, we can use this morning for example, for real. But even in the midst of like me going through the seasons and going through, you know, whatever, because we all gonna go through life, still having that high level of accountability, like, hey, like, yeah, but I know you're going through something. Here's this, here's that. Come on and get back into it because you told me that you wanted to do this, this, and this. Like, this is what you're trying to do. And my job is to help you do it. So we're gonna walk it out and we're gonna ride this thing to the end. And that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So what you have to realize is that accountability doesn't have to lack just because you're being patient. I'm still going to tell you how it is. I'm still going to gracefully submit something to you. Oh, I got another person. And she told me don't call on her no more. So
I did not tell you that, man.
Oh, yes, you did.
Don't be like, I was talking to Patricia earlier today, and
well, same thing. Now I done pulled you up. So
yes, Lord.
Patricia is another one where, yeah, I'm not gonna answer for you. Do you feel like I'm patient with you?
Yes. Hey, Day. So one of the ways I've noticed your patience is you'll give me something and then kind of just release me. So it becomes, it's almost like, it's almost, if I could be spiritual, and I hate to be like super spiritual and all deep and stuff. It's like I'm a PK and people expect it, but it's almost like passing me a baton or like giving me a mantle and going like, okay, are you gonna hold it? I mean, I'll hold it for a little while I'm placing it in your hands, but I'm not gonna hold your arms up. So if you're gonna take it, then that means that you have to develop the muscle, right? Or let it burn or put it down, right? So that's what you do to me. You say, like, prime example, I had a call set up today and then I can't. So I had a call set up today with a potential that we've been talking for a little while, texting. And this morning, Rachel said to me, because I've been checking in, hello, I'm doing my part, making sure I communicate openly. And Rachel texted me and was like, hey, I'm excited about, like, one of the things she said was, I'm excited about getting some three-ways set up with you. Now I was just like, I don't even need no three-way, right? This is the old me. I don't even need, and she pops quick. I don't even need no three ways. As old as I am, right? Like, that's the biggest one. Old as I am, right? And as long as I've been in this business, it's 3 years. I don't even need no three-way to close a distributor. And thinking about me, right? Like, that's me being selfish. But Rachel like put it, and so I was like, okay, well, she put it out there. Let me call her and see if she's ready to do, not like on the spot. That wasn't my intention. I apologize for that. But I was like, okay, well, she's willing. So she offered it. Let me, take her up on the offer. And so instead of her saying like, no, it's last minute, or, you can do it by yourself, she was patient and was like, sure. let's do it. And it was just like her giving me the baton, and it was for me to decide if I'm gonna run with it or if I'm gonna just stand there and, looking crazy.
But do I ever lack in giving you the baton, as you would say?
No, and that's not to say that you're perfect. Maybe just not with me, you haven't. But you, because you don't like, the way you are patient with me means that you don't hold my hand and walk me through it, because in a lot of areas I don't need that. But in the areas that I do, like, you'll push and then you'll be like, maybe you need to journal about that. When it's like something deep, and I'll be like, oh Lord, but then you'll wait and, be like, come back to me when, after you journal. So it's not like giving me the choice of whether or not I'm going to journal, but you're like, let me know when you're done, So It's like, you're still giving me the opportunity to say no, but then holding me accountable to doing it and coming back to you when I'm done.
That's so good. And you pulled out exactly what Shawana just put in the comment. Thank you, girl. Appreciate you. So it's giving you self-accountability. Y'all, your business will thrive regardless, but people are here and they have to learn how to do whatever they need to do to be the best that they can be. It is a process. And if you're not willing to walk through the process with people, then you're not here. Like, you're not in the right space, because you need a process. You do. First of all, you don't just need a process for business. I bet you if we were to get in your business, you need a process for every aspect of your life. Okay? Facts. Every. We all need grace. We all need mercy. And so who are you not to give it just because you're frustrated because you believe that your business is not progressing because they're not doing what they're supposed to do when you're supposed to do 4 and 3 every month? And so this is the work part. You love your team. You hold them accountable to the standards that they say that they want to meet. And then you keep working. You keep working. And when they show up, you don't have to do nothing. They will show up. Right? I think about like the blessings that have come into my organization where they just got, everybody is a blessing, but the people who actually came in and got it and ran, you have to keep going to find the people. You will never find that person. And you never know why God brought people into this organization. People can come into this business to pay for their product, guys. They can. And that's okay. You still getting paid. But what you shouldn't do is place an expectation on them that they don't desire to meet. Now, that does not mean that you don't push people to level up and go beyond their limitations. That does not mean that. We still push people to be their best and to go one step further. But when they don't take the step further, you know they're not ready for the step. So for example, how Patricia was telling me, just speaking, if I would have said, hey, go journal about that, and then just check back in with me afterwards, and I never get a check back in, she may not be ready. Because this mentorship is free. And so I'm not going to beg somebody to be mentored. But I will still love them. And the next time I talk to them, I may be, God works on the shade. He does. Every once in a while, I'm a little shady. I am, because I am human. God works on me. So I may slip a little something in there because I do serve a lot of people. And God forgive me. You guys forgive me. If I've ever been shady towards you, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But that's real life. If you want it, you will do what you were told to do. When I reach out to my trainer, when I reach out to my pastor, when I reach out to anyone and I desire something, I'm going to follow through. So the real question is, are you following through? It all starts with you. Because if you're not following through on Drop a 1 in the comments if you haven't followed through on every single thing that your mentor has told you to do. Exactly. How dare you be frustrated with somebody else? How dare you? Drop a 2 in the comments if your enroller has ever had to repeat something to you because you forgot or you didn't do it. How dare you? How dare you? Drop a 3 in the comments if you've ever needed to actually go back to your mentor and have them reiterate or elaborate and you didn't do it because of your pride. How dare you? You have every reason to be patient. When you look at yourself, that doesn't mean that you allow them to make excuses, but you should be showing so much grace while being honest. There is a balance. But can you be honest with yourself right now? And so we're going to do an exercise and then we actually going to close this out today. Can you be honest with yourself right now? Can you be honest with yourself right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being you, Jesus, and you not. 1 being like you don't even do it. It's like non-existent. I want you to write down your name. Actually, get a piece of paper. I want you to write down me. I want you to write down my family. I want you to write down my team. And I want you to write down my mentor. Me, my family, my team, my mentor. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being your Jesus, 1 being non-existent. How graceful are you with your mentor? Scale of 1 to 10. Write it down. You don't got to share it in the comments. Write it down. How graceful are you with your team? Scale of 1 to 10. Your family. And yourself. How many of you guys that your numbers varied? Tell me in the comments, just a one-liner, what looking at these numbers makes you realize. Just a one-liner in the comments. When you look at these numbers, what do you realize about your patients while you work? Whew, I heard that. She said, I don't give anyone grace. I need to be nicer to myself. No grace. I'm more kind and patient to others than I am to myself. Sound like Day and Robin on the same. Ashley, I show more grace. Do y'all, can I just submit something to y'all? If your number was the lowest, you're really not that graceful to other people. You're not as graceful to others as you think you are. You just say it. Somebody need to say facts in the comments because it's just real life. You say you're graceful, but you're really not. How do you know, Rachel? It's me, sis. I was there. It would be like, oh, girl, yeah, I understand. And now I get off the phone and be like, Brianna, What in the entire girl? Bye. But God had to do a work in my heart because that ain't right. I don't live in their situation. They are not me. They don't have the tools that I have. They don't have the encouragement that they don't have the vigor that I have. Why am I even comparing myself to them? I ain't them. They ain't me. All I can do is love them where they are, support them, keep them plugged into a system that works, an environment that works, and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. You have to work this business, y'all, as you are leading other people. But a lot of times, if you're not showing them grace and genuine concern, why should they sit with you? What's different from a job? And this is volunteer work? How are you really helping them change their life and become different? How are you inspiring them to become different? We work different. My boss back in the day may get fired if I sit in her office for 2 hours. Be like, what you talking about? Y'all both gonna get rolled up. But here, a 2-hour conversation with someone could actually take your finances. It could add a 0 to your finances. But that doesn't mean that you don't work. Patience while you work. So I'm going to give you guys 5 tips that you can immediately start working on to be more patient while you work. Y'all ready? Number 1, phone calls over text. Somebody gonna drop these in the comments. Phone calls over text. Yep. I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable. Eventually, hopefully you'll get to FaceTime over text. So many things are misconstrued and misinterpreted over text message. Pick up the phone and call them or FaceTime them. Then you'll hear their story. You'll see their face. You'll understand what they may be going through. You'll empathize. They'll see that you care. Phone calls over text. Say I'm gonna do it, because I felt some of y'all like, okay, we're gonna skip over that one. Number 2, work out loud. Work out loud. And sometimes you'll need to do everything out loud. Literally everything. Everything. You know what that does? Sometimes when you actually work out loud, it helps you realize how much you automatically do that somebody who's new has to actually process and do. And you'll overwhelm yourself. You'll be like, dang, I did all that today. Maybe I can be a little more patient. Because when I think about my day and the automation of it and how hard I work to do that, when somebody is trying to learn that, I'm going to be patient with them. Number 3, this is for me. Number 3 is for me. You don't have to agree to understand. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree to understand. You don't have to agree to understand. You don't have to agree. And this is something I fought with for a long time. Because it was, I am the person where I'd be like, make it make sense. But it don't have to make sense to me for me to be understanding. Again, you don't live their life. You don't have their tools. You don't know their story. You can still be understanding. And you can finish the understanding. And that's number 4. Number 4, always be willing to submit a different perspective. Always be willing to submit another perspective. I just fall in line. You don't have to agree to understand, but always be willing to submit another perspective. The only way that you can submit another perspective is if your eyes and ears are open and you can see another perspective. Number 5, stay out your feelings. Dun, da, da, da. I mean, like, stay out of them. If you feel yourself in your feelings, you need to step away because something's up with you, not them. You are a helpmate. Helpmate. And you're not helpful if you're judging. You're not helpful if you're frustrated. And I'm not saying that you can't be frustrated and all these other things. You're a human. But in that moment, you're not helpful. And so you're not being an effective leader. Can you imagine me doing a workout and my instructor is getting frustrated with me because I can't get the move right? I ain't coming back to her class. You don't want to help me. And since you're so frustrated, let me go find somebody else. I might need to go to the old people class where they teach better because clearly you struggle with teaching. No, I'm just playing. But I'm just saying, if you can't encourage me until I get it, because I'm showing up. I'm showing up. I'm here. I want to be better. And so where is your gratitude for people showing up? If you can say, God, I'm thankful that my team got on Zoom today because they didn't have to. I'm grateful. And I'm telling you, that place of gratitude will keep you when things don't go your way. Their wins are your wins. 1 through 5. What is somebody said all 5. What is the one thing that you are going to, for sure, actually 2, I'm not even gonna give y'all 1. What are the 2 things that you are for sure going to implement this week? Phone calls over text, work out loud. You don't have to agree to understand. Always be willing to submit another perspective. 5, stay out your feelings. And you gotta work. Your work is not contingent on their work. My work is not contingent on my team's work. My work is not contingent on my team's work. You started alone. You work your own business. And even though we're not in business by ourselves, we are in business for ourselves. And so all the things that you want them to do, you do it. Because sometimes it's a heart check. And God has to fix your heart before he can give you a big organization. Because you really just waiting on them to blow up so you ain't got to work. Because you tired. Boo, you still got to work. I'm an ambassador diamond. I still work. You don't ever stop working. That's not what this is. You just get to work the way that you desire to work. Okay? That's the blessing. I have the freedom. I can go to the park. I can work in my car. I can go out. My work looks different, but I still work. So I want you guys to grow in your patience. Oh, I got one more. And then we're getting off of here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like a pastor that, well, you ain't got to start your video if you don't want to, because I know you said something about your internet. But I want you to, Akia. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
I
Oh,
want
look,
you
there you
to.
go. It worked for you, right?
Oh, okay. Well, won't he do it? Well, I want you to share just a little bit about our conversation, whatever you want to share based on what you heard here tonight on the call, and what you learned in that regarding patience in the midst of working. Just patience. We'll talk about just the patience, because I'm the one who was working, because I'm the mentor. So patience with you while I work.
Okay, so it was a lot. So let me make a long story short, because I get in my head a lot, but like I said, personal development, we know that's like a big thing. And I personally feel like, just from that break that I took, I wasn't doing it enough. I wasn't spending more time pouring into me. And that plays a big part as being a mentor, because I can't give my team the advice or say, hey, you need to do this. Basically, you can't give the advice if you're not taking it yourself. And that's what I needed. I needed to take out the time to pour into myself, actually take a day off and not feel like I gotta do this, that, and the third, because that's not resting. So that was that was a big part, because we're not well rested. We can't put out 100% into our business, our sales, our family, just everything, because it all ties together. So it was a big eye opener for me. I had the conversations with the people that I needed to have conversations with, and this week has just been a lot better. I can actually say that I feel like I have been putting more time into myself, so I can actually be present for my team.
So a little background story, because she was like, let me just get to the punch. So a little background story. Akia, you okay with me sharing it?
Yes.
Okay. I felt that, like, do you think I'm gonna say no? Like, you got me on here, like I'm but anyways, so Akia, y'all, low-key like wanted to quit, like straight up. She like, just make me a 400 bucks. I'm good. I don't want to mentor. Got too much going on in life. And I said, absolutely not. I'm like, especially because we have been working together all month long. I was like, something ain't right. Like, something going on. So what did I do? Tell me. Somebody tell me what I did, Akia.
You picked up that phone, you said no ma'am. In so many words, you
Phone
said no
call
ma'am.
over text. We're not gonna do this over text. Automatic phone call, y'all. Automatic phone call. She shared with me a little bit about her life. Did I say I agree with you, or did I just understand that you were going through a lot?
You understood, and you had patience.
I just understood. There is always a solution, y'all. There is always a solution, and quitting is not the answer, because I knew she didn't want to quit. She didn't want to quit, but she didn't see any way out. I'm the mentor. I've been doing this for 9 years. If I don't have patience with her to help her figure it out, who gonna help her figure it out? Who gonna help her? I gotta have patience with her. And that also helps me grow as a leader. And so, number 4, what did I do for you, Akia? You ain't gonna talk. You
Wait,
still
it's Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. Look,
Oh, it's
y'all
okay.
know my Wi-Fi is not good. You gotta get the background story. But yes, I mean, you had an open mind. You listened. You listened.
And number 4 is I submitted to you another perspective. I gave you another perspective. I'm gonna pull you down because I know your Wi-Fi jack acting up. But I gave her another perspective, y'all. And lastly, I could have easily got my feelings, because she's a part of my promotion. But I stayed out of my feelings. I stayed out of my feelings. So thank you, Akia. That is so awesome. So I want you guys to walk out of here knowing that you have the power to be patient. Say, I have the power. Drop that in the comments. I have the power to be patient. And I'm praying, I'm getting up off of here, and we're going to go out and implement the things that we learned here today. And honestly, I submit to you guys that you watch this over, like for real. Watch it over and let it fester, because I can feel the pushback. I can feel your story, your reasons. But being patient is a choice. I choose to be patient. I choose to be graceful. Like, it is all a choice, y'all. And so you have to make a decision that you're stepping into this leadership space and that you're going to choose it. You're going to choose it. So I'm going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we just love you. We thank you. We thank you for the spirit of patience. We thank you for how we do anything is how we do everything. And so our patience here is going to extend far beyond this business, and it's going to come into our marriage. It's going to come into our home, into our parenthood, into our friendships, into our relationships with our family. God, even in our wait for you, just knowing that you have the best intentions for us and that all things work together and they'll happen at the proper time if we faint not. And so God, today, as we go forward, I ask that everyone under the sound of my voice, that they just grow in their patience today, that they learn to serve their team just a little bit better, that they learn to extend the grace that they desire, but also put some respect on their name and on your name by acting and working as if they're working for you. And so God, if we're working unto you, we have to submit it to them. We have to open up our mouths. We have to do better. We have to ask for help. We have to have the accountability. We have to show accountability to those that you've given us to serve, God. And so as we go forward, God, I ask that you guard hearts today, you guard minds today, God. And I pray that as we grow as an organization, that we always remember to remain patient. God, the 5 things that I gave today, God, I even pray now today that they just remember them over and over again, and they begin to implement them, and that they begin to work for them. Because God, if it worked for me, we know that you're no respecter of person. And as we're growing as a squad, as I'm growing as their leader, God, I know that these tools are the same thing that will help them take their leadership to the next level. So God, we thank you in advance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I love you guys. See y'all later.